everyone, and welcome to my kitchen. I am Dana, and tonight we are going to be doing some recipes from my mom's files, my mom's recipe files. Behind the camera, I want to make sure I introduce him, is my tech guy who's back there waving at you, which you can't see. Also the spreadsheet lover. I don't know why, but he does. He loves spreadsheets. One of his other things is taking care of the two fluff balls. So we have Rocky, the Velociraptor, who is in full Velociraptor mode today, trying to get stuff off of the counter, chewing on furniture. I know he has that innocent looking face, but don't let it fool you. Also, we have the old man Otis, who for some reason decides that he does not like to go to the bathroom in the grass. But okay, there we go. So that's who's here at the house. It's not as chaotic as it was the last stream when I had both the kiddos here. So it's going to be probably a little bit quieter today. And there we go. So what we are making tonight is a Margarita pork roast. Kelsey had this on her 13th birthday. You know why I know why? Because my mom wrote right in the corner, Kelsey's birthday, very good. 7107. So there you go. That's the kind of thing my mom always did. We're also going to do some creamy buttermilk mashed parsnips and potatoes to do something a little different instead of just regular mashed potatoes. That's what I would normally cook with pork loin. And then we're going to do some corn. We're going to do a salad, and we're going to do a mule, but with blood orange, because Robbie discovered those and loves them. In fact, I apparently did not pack enough for the beach when we were gone a couple of weeks ago. He's shaking his head no. He's like, are there more? And I'm like, well, I only brought so much fresh squeezed blood orange stuff to the beach, so there's nothing we can do about it. He had to stick with beer. So there we go. Let's see here. I want to start today by getting the potatoes and the parsnips going, just because those take a little while to boil and cook, especially when I have got a couple of pounds of parsnips and 3 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. And I am just going by my mom's recipe. I would have probably gone half and half, but here we go. This is what we're doing. I have not begun to peel these, so we get to talk while I peel all of these potatoes and all of these parsnips, and then chop them up into little pieces.
Is there any cake on the menu for Kelsey?
There's no cake on the menu for Kelsey tonight because she's not here. And, you know, honestly, that's not her favorite desserts. She likes ice cream and pie, and I made her a gooey butter cake on Sunday. Does that count? I mean, she helped a little with it. I know that my son has frequently asked for just the gooey butter cake on their birthday. But since Kelsey's back in Seattle, that can be Cody's job for today. So hopefully she'll join us at some point today. I don't know if she's working on her birthday. We'll see that. On your birthday, you had key lime pie, also an excellent choice.
Yum.
I happen to like cake, but you know, birthday cake is kind of, usually, it's not my favorite. And she had many birthday cakes over the years. We've had Snoopy cakes, Pokemon cakes, 101 Dalmatian cakes, Blue's Clues cakes.
Who would have thought she'd have a Pokemon cake?
There. Who would have known? Who would have known? I want to say that was for her 5th birthday that we did the Pokemon cake. It was a Pokemon kind of birthday that year. I think she got a Nintendo and clothes that had Pikachu on them. So you can actually probably find those on my Facebook page somewhere. Kelsey Pokemon, nah. She was a Pokemon, she collected Pokemon cards and all the older boys in the neighborhood, because she was only 6, took advantage of her and gave her crappy cards. Well, they took her good cards, and every single cent of allowance went to buying Pokemon cards. She'd have some money and she'd be like, we have to go get Pokemon cards. That was until the Lisa Frank stickers kicked in a couple of years later. Then everything was about Lisa Frank stickers. So, oh, look at that Pokemon. And, did you put that up there? Oh, okay, because I was like, I wasn't typing. How did I do that? I'm magical. I found Pokemon emotes while I was peeling potatoes very slowly because I'm talking instead of concentrating on this. So, donuts on your birthday, also an excellent choice. I like donuts. I really love a good glazed donut. That's my favorite. You know, if you have the basics. So, anybody else in there, something you would rather have as your dessert on your birthday? Have the candles on something other than cake, or a favorite kind of cake that you like? Ice cream cake, cookies, cakes. That's your sister likes the big cookie cake. She has to. We have to do 2 because she wants one for herself. And hi there from Albuquerque. That is Bobby's dad chiming in with Robbie's grandma. So hi, welcome. I'm peeling potatoes very slowly. Very, very slowly here. But yeah, your sister has a cake to share and a cake for herself. Smart. Smart. Have it, save it for later. So, donuts, yeah. Anything else? Anybody else out there? What is your favorite thing? I think for Robbie's dad, I can't remember if that was birthday or if that was Father's Day. We did German
chocolate cake.
Cake. That was what I heard was his choice. You can tell me if I'm wrong, Bob. Let's see. What else?
A wild Kelsey appears.
Hi, Kelsey. Your internet connection is bad. We were just talking about you. Were your ears burning? Because Venom Rex, for some reason, thought I should be making you a cake. I guess that's because Venom Rex got me a birthday present. German chocolate it is. See, I'm learning. I'm learning the right things. If you've just joined us, we're going to be doing a Margarita pork loin that was made 14 years ago for Kelsey's birthday by my mom. Also, right now I'm working on peeling the Yukon potatoes for a parsnip mashed potato. That's it. Just parsnip, buttermilk parsnip mashed potatoes. We're doing that. Hey, if you're a subscriber, we have a new emote, which was great. I forgot to make the background transparent, so I'll work on that for Sunday. So it'll look a little nicer on Sunday. That's what happens when you try to do things too quickly at the end of a very long day. Because Robbie goes, if you don't do it now, it won't be ready for tomorrow. He keeps me on task.
Worked.
So, angel food cake with a citrus drizzle. That's always good. You're going to find a Pokemon apron. That would be awesome. I sent Kelsey home with the apron she was wearing while she was here. So she's got that at home. But I bet she would prefer a Pokemon apron.
You can have more than one.
I have more than one. I have several. You just have the one.
For now.
That's a Game of Thrones theme that says dinner is coming. I don't know if you guys noticed that when he's grilling out there. So I was going to say something and I completely forgot. Oh, I was going to say something about angel food cake with a citrus drizzle. I remember, and I'm going to try and find the picture for it because I was going to actually make, I don't know if you're old enough to remember angel food cake that has whipped cream and mandarin oranges all in it, you know, that you make the cake. My mom had to make that because she was doing something with angel food cake, and I was about 5. And I got up on the counter, and there's this great picture of me with the cake. And she said that shortly thereafter, I put my hand in the middle of the cake and took a chunk and ate it. So she had to go to Plan B for dessert for people who were coming over that night for dinner with that whipped cream, mandarin orange type dessert. So I probably should have peeled these before you guys were here, but yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? I didn't, and then I gotta peel the parsnips. Do you guys like parsnips? I kind of like the way, especially with the Yukon potatoes, I haven't, if I've had this, I don't remember. But I'm thinking this is going to be really good because, you know, Yukon potatoes kind of are creamy, maybe a little sweeter than other potatoes, and the parsnips have that slightly bitter taste to them. I think it'll be really good together. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I do like, you know what's really good with potatoes is to do some celery root and cook that, but it takes longer to cook the celery root than the potatoes. And I am worried, this says to boil all these together. I'll get most of this in the bowl. But I do know that parsnips are a little bit more dense than the Yukon potatoes. But Dutch Golds and Yukons, they're just a little bit softer than, say, your russet potatoes. So you gotta be careful not to cook them too much or they'll turn into mush. So, poor Kelsey, here she was. She was in Texas, and it was in the 90s.
Already hot.
Already hot here, but we have air conditioning here in Texas, and she had to go back to Seattle where it was over 100 degrees and no air conditioning. So if you're in Seattle and you went to the international district store, she said that was pretty dang hot in there. I don't know if she's still there. You never did whipped cream, you did ice cream and berries on angel food. Done that too. I love like strawberries and whipped cream. That's what I always did for strawberry shortcake with my kids. I always told them it was strawberry shortcake, but we did it was much easier to do angel food cake than it was to make shortbread for it. So that was a favorite dessert. And I know my youngest, they usually ask for something for dessert. The gooey butter cake is one, and the other thing is kind of angel food cake with whipped cream and berries on the top. They really like that. Does anybody have any good 4th of July plans this weekend? Because I'm going to be making chipotle ribs and strawberry rhubarb pie and cardamom ice cream with a blueberry compote, just so that we can be red, white, and blue. And I haven't gotten far enough for the sides for that yet.
But there will be some.
But there will be sides. I'm going to guess you would like macaroni and cheese as a side.
Yes.
It's just a guess.
Yeah, that was rocky last night, Venom Rex. There's some people celebrating early.
Oh, yeah, we have a white noise machine that seems to help, but last night somebody near here, what was it, like 11:30 or something?
It was late enough.
It was late enough. Somebody was shooting off fireworks. On not the 4th, at like 11:30 at night, and that woke up Rocky, which woke up us. Because I don't know if you guys can ever hear him when he barks, but he's got a supersonic bark. It's high pitched and it's loud. So, you know, 11th girl, I remember my mom, we used Bisquick all the time when I was growing up. So, and I started using it when my kids were little, but then I started making everything from scratch. But yeah, that is a great shortcut if you want to make a shortcake or biscuits. Drop biscuits were always the big thing at my house on Sundays growing up. Did you have any regular foods that you had on Sundays?
Not that I can remember.
No. Look, I'm almost done peeling these things. Woohoo!
I want to say that there's a lot of softball on Sundays, so it was wherever we stopped on the way back.
That's right, because you grew up having to do that on Sundays. Our softball and soccer days and baseball days were always on Saturdays. So we would go after our soccer games or softball games. There was this place in Houston, because that's where I grew up, and it was called Arts. And it was like a roadside stand, like prefab buildings stuck together with 2 pool tables, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, I think, was in there, Centipede maybe, yeah, a couple games, and then a big refrigerator full of soft drinks and beer, and they served cheeseburgers, hamburgers, French fries, and onion rings. That was it. And the woman who owned it would be back there with her sons, and then at the end of the day you would say, we had 4 beers, 2 soft drinks, 4 burgers, 2 fries, 2 onion rings, and that's what you paid her for. So, I'm going to guess that some people didn't get that right all the time, but you probably came out ahead anyway. So I have a big pot of water over here. I'm going to chop these things up and get them in the water. I have not started to heat the water yet. I have found that this is the best way. If you have been watching me, this is the way that I now boil my potatoes for mashed potatoes. So we'll see if that works with parsnips as well. I'm gonna guess yes, but maybe not. We'll all find out together, because you know what? I mess up, so you don't have to. That is my thing. Oh, the round dumplings, yeah. Someone's doing fireworks in October. I know, it's like, why are you doing fireworks? I love fireworks, but not when they're not supposed to be there.
And really, really late at night.
And I can actually see in Grapevine, there's a Gaylord on Lake Grapevine, and in the summer on Fridays they do fireworks that I can see from my house, from my backyard, which is kind of fun. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Robbie can see them better because he's taller than me. I have to stand on the window ledge to see them really well. Don't try that at home, children. This is a workout. I'm also in my yoga clothes, so sorry about that. I was comfy, and I decided this was what I was wearing tonight. All right, now for the potatoes. You can see how, well, maybe you can't, but this like slices like butter, a lot easier than the parsnips.
Will it all fit?
Well, I can always take some water out if it gets a little too high on there. Chicken and dumplings, love chicken and dumplings. Maybe we'll make those at some point. That feels like a good fall food for me. I'm trying to be a little bit lighter just because, a little bit lighter with pork loin and then ribs on Sunday. After this, Robbie's going to help me make some Moscow. Well, they're not Moscow mules, they're similar. They are a mule, but they're blood orange. They've got blood orange in them. He needs to learn how to make them if he loves them so much. I'm sorry, am I splashing you with water over there?
in the
I kind of
splash
am.
zone.
You are in
Just
the
like at
splash
SeaWorld.
zone. All right, we're gonna get those going. I'm gonna turn that on high, and you know what else I'm going to do? I am going to add some salt. And I'm also gonna take some of the water out of here because I think this is way more water. Yeah, just some salt. Just a little. All right, let's take a couple of, I don't want to take too much out of there. Maybe a couple of cups, which is saying it twice. So not multiplying, not four. There we go. All right.
That's going.
All right. All right. See,
All right, all
I'm
right,
just
all right.
making sure I say it a lot.
You're hitting your quota.
I'm hitting my quota. Have a shorter amount of time to hit my quota today. We're gonna make some mules with blood orange juice because I found some at the grocery store today, so I was pretty excited about that. You can't always find blood oranges. Dun, 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 dun. You've got to help. You need to go get vodka over there. And the mixing things. Robbie had to actually work today and didn't do any Twitch stuff at home today while working.
I work every day. What are you talking about?
I even got us some cool mugs.
Just the vodka?
I think that's all we're going to need from there. And we're going to need ginger beer and some lime juice, which I'm not going to make you squeeze. But we do have to do this. Oh, here we go. We've got some new people. Okay. Thank you, Fallen Age, for taking care of that. I appreciate that.
Boy, you bring out the alcohol and
I
people
know.
just get crazy.
They just get, it's like, all right, you just don't want to be here, I guess. Okay, you're going to actually have to do that because I don't think that one's very juicy. I should be measuring this, but we're just going to eyeball it. See, look at that. And you know what I love about blood oranges? They make such pretty cocktails. Of course, this is going in a copper cup, so you won't be able to see it.
The juice in all of them?
Well, let's see how much we get. Oh, you've got the... Oh, did you put some in that pot?
No.
I think you're wrong. I think you did. These are not the juiciest
This one's pretty
oranges.
good.
Can you guys see what he's doing over here, or is he way off camera?
Should be in camera. Enough.
Enough?
The important part.
So one thing about Robbie is that I promised him, and he didn't have to be on camera when we started this whole thing, and
There were a lot of promises made, guys.
I lied.
Oh, you lied. I thought it just changed. It was a lie.
I didn't mean to lie.
I see. It's fine.
Venomrex says he can see the cup and the... You've got long arms. We'll come over here. It's getting warm in the kitchen.
Think you need more than this?
Yeah, that's not very much in there. These are not the juiciest of the... But I'm going to put the vodka in there. I'm going to do the fun stuff. So you know your regular mule is vodka, some mint, some lime juice, some ginger beer. What? Did you get it?
The top of it exploding.
Is it any more if you took it on the side and then like this way? No. Okay. So we're just adding blood orange to the mix along with some lime, a little less lime than the regular one calls for.
It seems like a lot of work, but it is worth it.
Yep.
These are amazing.
I'm telling you, next time I'm just gonna have to go buy about 20 pounds of blood orange juice for the beach.
20 pounds?
Of oranges so that I have enough
Oh.
juice. Yes.
I heard you say 20 pounds of blood orange juice.
If I said that, I meant 20 pounds of blood oranges to
A lot of drinking.
juice. To juice.
Alrighty.
See, you're saying it too. We are
Well,
not
you can't have all the fun.
I know. All right, I'm gonna shake that. I'll get some ice in here. The magical ice dispenser. And we're doing this because Robbie came in and I said, "How was your day?" And he said, "Ugh."
But now it's fun time.
And he said, "I'm not going to pregame."
You said we were making beverages.
Yeah.
Alright.
See, you do it too.
Whoa.
I feel better. And see how pretty that color is? It's such a pretty drink. We were drinking it out of plastic cups on the beach. So somebody hates food. Any food fans in ya? So Aladdin's girl. Do I detect a little sarcasm there? Was that you that said you have like stacks of shelves with your things in, with all of your gadgets in it? I think that was you, wasn't it? Tricky McGee TV says food for thought. All right, see? Oh, Robbie's bringing the other camera over here. We are, whoops, going to be working on a new setup for Sunday too. Hopefully all the pieces will be here by then. And we're still trying to figure out the whole mic situation, because as I'm listening to it, if I've got stuff going on in the background, it sounds like it might be a little hard for you guys to hear. So we're trying to work on that. That doesn't cost us like $2,000. But then maybe that's just what we gotta spend. So if you are just, oh, Buttermilk says your transition between cameras is flawless.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Does this taste like it did on the beach?
Oh, and I get to drink it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I just got to film it.
No, you get to drink it too. How is that?
It's really good.
Yeah. That's good. So I'm gonna put that aside for me right now.
I am back on the beach now.
I thought you didn't like the beach. He doesn't like the beach. So I have to
I like the beach more
make
when I get to drink blood
cocktails.
orange drinks.
see. That's what I gotta do. Yeah, Venom Rex, that's what we're looking at is some lav mics that have the little transmitters attached to them. You would think, you know, my original major back in the 80s, when I went to college the first time in the 80s, was radio, TV, film. But everything is different. Like, you know, our camera's like this big right now. The camera I lugged around in the 80s, the portable camera was like this, and then you had the pack, because it was Betamax, and you had to carry that around, and it was like 50 pounds. It was terrible. So things have changed just a bit since
Make
I
those
have
IRL streams a lot of fun, though. Think about carrying all that stuff around. You think the backpack's big.
I know. I see Cody's backpack that's just a backpack, and it not only has all of his sound equipment and camera equipment, but wireless remote stuff, and it's crazy. So, yeah, I'm trying to find, so if anybody knows of any good lav mics, because some lav mics are not good. And we need to get a transmitter for it as well. So I'm looking at the lav mics with the transmitters. And hopefully that will, because it has to be wireless, because I would be completely tangled up and then I'd pull the computer on the ground if it had to be attached to something.
And if you did, Rocky
Because
would
you
just
see me in
chew
the
it
kitchen
anyway.
do this, right? Rocky would try to eat exactly. It'd just be a disaster. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start on this Margarita pork loin roast. Now, it has to marinate overnight. So I actually started this yesterday. So this is the one we're gonna cook tonight, but I'm actually gonna show you how easy this is. And what's awesome about this is we're not just gonna have it tonight as a pork loin roast. I'm also gonna show you what to do with the leftovers, because I grew up in a house where my dad did not eat leftovers. He would not eat them. He hated leftovers. So my mom had to be a little tricky and take the leftover food and make something new with it. So when he was out of town, my brother and I and my mom ate leftovers. When my dad was in town, it became a challenge to how do we make something new out of what was this. This is not something my mom made. My mom usually with pork roast would make chop suey, which we can do some other time, but this is a margarita roast with tequila and lime kind of flavors in it. Excuse me, maybe not the best for a chop suey. But most other pork loins that are more savory are good for that. So, hi how do we say that? Neomechasonic. I'm taking my best guess. So, for the one I'm cooking today, I'm gonna go ahead and put a cast iron pan. The one I have is about 2 pounds that I'm cooking tonight so that we're not here for multiple hours while it cooks. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven to heat it up so that when I sit it in there, it kind of sears a little bit. So there's a lot of different ways you can do pork loin. You can sear them on the stove first and then get them in the oven. You cannot sear them, but you won't get as brown of a pork loin that way. I like to sear it either on the stove or in the oven. I'm gonna try the oven. This will be new for this particular pork roast. Well, it'll be new because I haven't made this pork roast before. My mom has. Not to mention it takes a while for a cast iron to get hot. So this pork loin roast is much bigger than the one that I did before, that I've got going for tonight. This one is about a little over 4 pounds, 4¼ pounds here, and super, super, super easy. And this means we're going to be having these pork sandwiches for because I will cook this tomorrow. I'm going to take this out of the bag because I haven't done that yet. In the sink.
Or it's really going to look like crime scene kitchen.
It's what?
It'll look like crime scene kitchen if you don't.
It'll be kind of funny. If you see any silver skin that doesn't look like fat on here, you're going to want to cut it off. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like just a little thin silvery piece of skin, kind of like that. We don't want that. A little fat's okay. I can always cut that off tomorrow, but we can cut some of it off if you want it to be a little more lean. I actually like to leave a little of the fat on the pork for cooking because it kind of melts when it's in the oven and keeps it moist. Let me wash my hands. Are you all singing the Mana song with me? On your head.
Hi, Rocky. You're on camera. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Rocky.
Yeah, that's fun. Okay. First thing we're gonna do is it takes.
She's distracted. Go.
Yeah, he's been like that all day. We're gonna take a cup of lime juice. I love we have a local grocery store, Central Market, and they always have all of these fresh squeezed juices, so I don't have to buy 20 limes to get a cup of lime juice. If you can use fresh lime juice instead of the bottled stuff on the in the aisles, that's much better. This also has tequila in it. I don't know, I think we've used tequila in like almost half of the shows so far, streams.
Are you saying that percentage is too high or too low? Yes.
I think it's just right. Half a cup of tequila.
Holy moly.
It's just the marinade. I'm gonna smell like tequila.
I just don't measure tequila by cups very often.
Then you have not made enough margaritas at one time. A quarter cup of olive oil. So what we've got in there is some fat and some good acids and some good flavor. Oh, yeah. You measure good tequila. I know I'm using the good tequila. It's okay, Robbie buys the tequila for the house because he drinks more of it to me, so it's fine. It's fine to use that. And you do measure tequila with your heart and not in cups. But to give people who don't know how to measure tequila with their heart, this gives them an idea of approximately how much tequila you're going to need. We give that a stir. I think that's all I put in this. Let me double check. And some, the garlic. That's important. Hang on. I do need some garlic because we're not going to chop this up. We're just going to crush it. Those of you who know how to cook already know this trick. Those of you who don't cook maybe don't. To get the paper off, I don't know if you watched me teach my daughter, which I apparently had neglected to teach her when she lived with me.
And you let her learn on the bad garlic last week?
Was it bad garlic?
I thought she had to start over. No?
She had some, but we threw that away. But she was trying to peel the paper off the hard way. Crush it! And then the paper comes, I don't know, peel garlic paper, what is it?
Take it off.
Take it off. And it comes right off when you do it that way. And your clove is flat, so if you are chopping it up, it's a lot easier. Oh, look, I have a multi-cloved thing. Get down! Thing going on here. I was told today in yoga class that it is a fire day, which means that you're more likely to be irritated or angry today about stuff. So to take care and cool yourself down, don't eat spicy foods. I don't know if I believe all of that, but I do know that I was irritated earlier today, and I know Robbie was definitely irritated. That's why we made the drink second. All right, crushing it. And you want to make sure you crush it because that starts to bring out all of those yummy oils bitter in the garlic, which give it that taste. It's also that stuff that makes your hands really, really sticky. All right. Your life is made of fire days. I'm assuming this is Farah, and ergo, I believe that. But that's what makes you a fabulous human being. All right. We also want to put some salt. Sometimes they have you put it in the marinade. I always just, I know I can get an even coating on the meat if I just do it this way, and then some of that'll come off and go on the bottom here. If you got a slightly smaller roast, you can put it in a Ziploc bag. I'm just gonna do this and then I'm gonna turn it at some point. That's how easy this is. Do it the day before, put it in the refrigerator, and then it'll be ready to stick in the oven. Well, almost ready, because now I'm gonna show you what you gotta do beyond this before you put it in the oven. And I'll put that in the refrigerator later, because I'm gonna have to find room for it. So we don't need all the marinade. Here's my tinier pork roast. I'm just gonna stick it and take it out of this marinade. And just to prep it, I'm putting in here, because like I said, I'm gonna put it in the cast iron when I get in the oven. I've got a lot of trash in there. More dishes for Robbie, because you know what? Robbie loves to do dishes. So what do I need? I need, for this, because I did not prep like a good girl,
No more jump scares.
oh my goodness. Do we need an ice emote?
Let's hope not. Let's hope it's a good fixture till it's stuck.
I need brown sugar.
Brown sugar. On the way.
Where's my brown sugar? Did somebody else put it away instead of me?
I haven't seen the brown sugar.
I see almonds, pecans. Oh, there it is. No? Can you see if you find it in there? We used that before. I need oregano. I need black pepper, thyme, salt, allspice.
Not raw sugar.
Nope, not raw sugar. Where's my allspice? I can't open this. I got too many things in here. Did you find it? This is why you're fabulous, because you can find brown sugar. It's just one of the things. You get to add that to your resume now.
Sugar finder.
Sugar finder. Exactly. All right. How did I know that was you, Farah? Really? The name just sounded like you, so that was number one. Ice cream dispenser does absolutely need to chill, Tricky McGee TV. Do I have a preferred brand of knives? It really depends. I've been tinkering with the idea sometime in the near future of getting one of those stupidly handmade expensive knives that you see like Alton Brown have or some of those other guys. What I do have in here, this one I love. It's a Miyabi, and you can get those at like Sur La Table. I don't know if they have them at Williams and Sonoma, but if you don't want to spend a lot of money, I think this one was around $200. You want a good knife, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. Made in. That's all it's called. He's also my medic on standby.
Good to know.
Because their knives are really $100 or less, and they're really good. They've got really good weight to them, and they're made really well. So just make sure that your knife, like, that it's not just a blade sticking in like a plastic or a wood sheath down here, that it's like riveted in, or, you know, it goes all the way through. It's a solid piece. And make sure it feels good. So hold the knife there and hold the weight in it. So those are kind of my go-tos. I also have some Wusthof knives. Those are good too. I like those. So good question. Let's see here. Yeah, KT Shane, it's gonna be like that. Hopefully I don't hurt myself, because then Robbie will have to cook.
And no one wants that.
No one, no, well, no, you know, you've
And by no one, I mean I don't.
okay. You don't want to have that. Because this is just going on the top of this and not inside something, we need about a tablespoon of oregano. That's probably a little bit more, but I think this roast is a little bit bigger. I need some grated lime zest. And it says about a tablespoon. This will probably not be quite a tablespoon. I think it'll be pretty good. Anyway, it's been marinating in that lime juice and tequila for 24 hours-ish. So, some lime. I love the smell of lime when you're zesting it. You know, there's much more flavor in the zest of the lime than there is in the juice of the lime. Did you know that, Robbie?
I did not.
That's why you see the chefs, like, when they're finishing up their dishes, a lot of times they take the citrus and just zest it over the top. I cannot hold things. What is going on? What is wrong with me? Am I cooking like I supervise Farrah? Like all over the place, but yet somehow I make things work. Cracked black pepper. Damon needs new hands today. Yes. All right, we're gonna put some black pepper in there, and it's supposed to be a lot.
Oh,
What?
what's in the dish?
What's in here? Oh, that's probably corn silk, because I was the corn was sitting nearby.
Thank you, Venom Rex.
Thank you. It's not hair. The corn really was sitting next to it in there. And we're not cooking in this anyway. I'm only going to measure this because I don't want to stick my fingers into the brown sugar. So we want a tablespoon of brown sugar-ish. And what else do I need? I keep looking down at my recipe over here. We need about a teaspoon of thyme. One of my favorite herbs is thyme, because it's good for anything. And then we need a little bit of allspice, but not very much. Oops, I just put that on. It's okay. Again, I make mistakes, so you don't have to. It's probably like that working with me too, right, Mary? Let me make all the mistakes. How are these? I want to check on the potatoes and the parsnips, because I don't want them to get mushy. They still need to cook a little more. It's hair of the corn. And it bit me.
Yes.
I mean, it makes it look like there's hair in the dish, but there's not.
These jokes are very corny.
You never had the pleasure of being supervised? Well, not formally. But you came and sat in the office with me a lot. And then you worked with me and had to deal with me because of that. Or I had to deal with you. I'm not really sure. Maybe we had to deal with each other. The jokes are corny. Are we all working on our dad jokes today? Is that what's going on?
I always am.
You're always working on them, yeah. Sometimes I am too. And then I get from you.
I'm just returning the reactions that I get.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. That's your therapeutic style, is you don't know what you're doing. I think that's true of all of us, though. If you don't know, if you're new around here, or if newer, or missed the time when I said that, I'm actually a family therapist, and they have actually put me in charge of supervising people sometimes and teaching them and supporting them as they become therapists. So as you can see, I'm taking this and I'm just rubbing it all over this to encrust the pork loin as much as possible. This has a lot on it because this is a smaller roast than the recipe calls for, which calls for a 3-pound one. And now I'm going to have Robbie open up the oven for me since I have pork juices all on my hand. Whew. Can you guys hear it? Probably not. One day when I have a lav mic, you'll be able to hear it.
It's like that.
But that means the bottom will get really brown while it sits in there. And, hey Google, set a timer for 40 minutes.
Okay, 40 minutes, starting now.
So I'm putting that in a 350 degree oven where I preheated a cast iron pan in there. I won't be able to do that with this big roast over here because I don't have a cast iron pan that big. And it goes about 20 minutes per pound. I hate overcooked pork. And I am one of those that says what the government says is cooked pork does not work for me, because to me that's overcooked. But you may follow the government guidelines on how to cook your pork. I think they say 145. Is that what they do? See, I don't even know because it's overcooked. I gotta get some of this trash out of here. So that Robbie can do dishes because he loves to do dishes.
Yay!
Yay! So, all right. That was you guys are really good at the puns, the food puns. We have a grocery store here, if you're not from around here, called Central Market. And they used to have this campaign, "Are you really into food?" And it was just one pun after the other was the entire commercial.
They were my favorite.
Were they?
Thanks for following, Tara Fried.
Thank you for following. What was it? Tara Fried?
Taro Fried.
Oh, taro fried. All right, thanks. If you have just come in, we're making a margarita pork loin. And not only am I going to show you this, but I'm going to show you what to do with the leftovers, which is a sandwich. It's kind of like a Cuban. And then I'm working on...
Thanks for following, Emily Tips.
Hi, Emily. Thanks for following. We're making some parsnip and mashed potatoes and with buttermilk in them, and I'm still waiting for those to finish cooking, and we're going to do some corn, which isn't going to take that long, so I don't really want to start that yet. I've got a big mess here, which is not unusual. That is what it's normally like, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we have our drinks. A lot of times I do dessert. We had so much dessert while Kelsey was here. I just couldn't make myself make another dessert, but I am gonna make dessert on Sunday. Strawberry rhubarb pie. This is my favorite pie, and some of you have shared your favorite pies as well, but I decided to go with my favorite, but I love that all of you guys did that. I'm also going to make, to go with the strawberry rhubarb pie, cardamom ice cream. So I'm excited about that because You know, we have an ice cream maker, and we have made ice cream more times than not on the stream since we've gotten it. So, see, look at that. We have some cheese jokes. Now,
Chat is
and
killing
it's
it right now.
brilliant. You guys are killing the puns. We'll have to go back through and screenshot some stuff later.
They think they're so punny.
I will. They think they're punny. Yep. And you guys are. But I give people credit where it's done. Did you miss if you weren't here? This was made for Kelsey on her 14th birthday because my mom writes this kind of stuff. Wrote all of this kind of stuff on all of her recipes. This is the one for the buttermilk parsnip mashed potatoes, where she's got a whole post-it note of notes. And then there's also notes on this one too, which this is corn on the cob with lime chive butter, but we did corn in the cob over the weekend, so I'm going to actually take it off of the cob. And it says to drink an oaky California Chardonnay with it. But you know what? I'm going to stick with my blood orange mule. I'm not going to open a bottle of Chardonnay. And then, what was it? The parsnip mashed potatoes. My mom wrote at the end of this, she wrote that you're supposed to have braised beef short ribs with it. And she told me where to find it in her file. Or actually, she was telling herself where to find it in the file. And believe it or not, braised beef is filed under beef.
What?
I'm telling you, that's what she wrote. I love my mom. She thought I was a crazy cook because you saw how I measured, right? I'm like, it's a tablespoon, it's a teaspoon. Drove my mom nuts. But she taught me how to build flavors. She taught me how to figure out if something needs more or less of something. And she just had files of recipes because she always liked to try new things. So she had her standards of that she made all the time, like I do, but she went out there and she really explored other food, and that's where I think where I got my love of that. I didn't appreciate it as much until she wasn't here to do it with anymore. So, but it's a good thing to have, is to reach out and try new things. Your knowledge of wine is Franzia red and white. Chardonnay would be closest to the Franzia white. So Emily, it is a modified Moscow Mule. We put some blood orange in it, so I dropped the lime a little bit, the lime flavor in that, but it is ginger beer and vodka and blood orange and some lime juice. I didn't say that twice, did I? No, I think I did all that. And I made that because it is one of Robbie's favorite cocktails. He's always a margarita guy over there, but when we were on the beach, he complained that I didn't have more of these to make. So
They were really good.
So now I've made him some more to thank him for all of the hard work that he has done for this stream, because we would not be where we are today with like the whole 2 cameras when we have that second mobile camera going and emotes and all that stuff. He's been instrumental in figuring all of that stuff out, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And whatever else we think of down the road.
And whatever else. And everybody needs a Robbie, because he does the dishes. He does 90% of the dishes in this house. So, and he does like 99% of them after the stream, so. Ah! There's Rocky. There he goes. Carboto. All right, well, Farrah, I will be posting pictures of this, and you can take a look at it, and thanks for stopping by. The rest of us will look at it, and some of us will get to eat it. So, there's that. All right, let's see how this is going. How is it going? Are the parsnips soft enough? I think they are. I think we can make this work. I need better storage. That's what I need. Or more storage in my kitchen. Or I need less stuff. But that's unlikely to happen. Woo! So, I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know if you can see me over here since Robbie is playing dog wrangler at the moment.
They can see the sink.
Yep. This automatically turns on sometimes when you have something that's steamy. Now,
If the power's on.
An important step, and I've said this before, when you're making potatoes so that you don't get gluey potatoes, is to dry them out. So I'm putting them back on the stove and gonna dry them out a little bit. It has something to do with the starches, don't know what. But you don't want wet potatoes and wet parsnips when you go to mix them up. We're going to go over to the mixer here in a little bit, but the first thing I'm going to do, the other thing you want to do to prevent them from getting gluey or lumpy, is to heat up your milk and especially your milk, but you can also heat up your butter. Making a lot of noise. Okay. This particular recipe has you doing both. So it has a stick of butter.
Just one?
Just one stick. For now, who knows? I may add more later. And then how much buttermilk? A cup of buttermilk and half a cup of half and half. So this is super healthy for you. Super healthy. This just had the water from the potatoes in it. So it's clean. And then I'm going to go get the half and half. I also have heavy whipping cream in there. Are you going to make ice cream later?
Maybe.
So what else is going on with you guys? Does anybody have any big plans for 4th of July over the weekend or anything? We do have special effects. I have a faucet that likes to turn on and off automatically. I have an ice maker that also does the same thing. And
Do you have special effects, or do you just have ghosts in the house?
it's unclear as to which of those is true. And I also have a microwave drawer, so you push a button and the microwave comes out that way. I'd say these are all really cool things, but I'll tell you that sometimes they're a pain in the butt. And I would probably not do the microwave drawer again, and I would definitely not do the faucet, the one that I have. All right, so I'm just heating up the milk and the butter so that it's not cold. That does help with the lumps. I can't tell you how many people, my mom actually taught me that, and I'm distracted by the camera coming towards me.
What?
And by the dogs who are over there yelling at each other. So while that butter continues to melt in there, oh, as I was saying, is that a lot of people, I was surprised to find were not taught that, to heat up your milk or your butter before you put it into your potatoes when you're mashing them. I even do it with the other night I made cauliflower puree. Actually, I think that was last night, wasn't it, for the fish? I think that's actually on the internet. Oh, and by the way, in case you want any of these recipes, I'm working on it. Tomorrow I'm going to put up the stuff. I'm going to put these recipes up tomorrow, as well as the recipes of what we made when Kelsey was here. And if you missed that, it was we did tacos on Thursday, and we did brisket burgers with a bacon tomato jam on Sunday. So they're in front of my computer. I'm going to get those up for you guys tomorrow if you want. But the recipes are on my Facebook page, but I link to them from Twitter and Instagram. So if you're on those, you can follow and get all the recipes of the things that I make. And if I forget something, yell at me. Just yell at me. I don't mean to forget things, I just do. Sometimes. Now my family was a mashed potato crazy family. And one thing you can do with I don't know what you guys do with mashed potato leftovers, but my mom would make mashed potato pancakes, latkes and stuff. Oh, the brisket burgers and stuff. I'm going to tell you what. I'll let Robbie say. How good were the brisket burgers?
Amazing.
I mean, we actually ground our own brisket meat. It was so... I've never done that before, and that was so good. So good. All right. I know this looks a little funky in here, and that's because it's got the buttermilk in it. Do you want to follow me?
You're going over there?
Here.
All right.
I am.
Hang on.
See, I could not do this by myself. And I have, where's the, is it easy to find? Yeah. I have this nice thing for the top so I don't end up with too much stuff on the counter when I use my mixer. Maybe. So, where's the sound? Is the sound coming from this one or the other one?
This one.
That one. So I start by just doing the potatoes and let them get crushed up before I add anything else in there. And I may have put a little too much in here. Most of the time I have to, with my family, when I'm doing potatoes, I have to do 2 or 3 batches because I usually make around 10 pounds. And this is 5. So it's 3 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes and 2 pounds of parsnips. If you're paying attention to that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to put this back on. Go over and grab my milk and butter. It's kind of going all over the place here. It's almost more of a puree over here. It's not looking as creamy as I would like. And I always add salt while it's mashing over here too. So let's see. Joyce, yeah, if my mom made rice, my dad would also ask where the potatoes were, because my dad was definitely a meat and potatoes kind of guy. Parsnips, yes. So the parsnips are going to kind of give it a little bit of a more bitter flavor to it, a more earthy-ish flavor. These are kind of a little lumpy, and I don't know why, but I think it's because of the directions. I followed the directions, and it had me cooking the potatoes and the parsnips at the same time, and I was worried about the parsnips not getting as cooked through as the potatoes, because the potatoes were going to cook faster since they were Yukon Gold. So, grab a vegetable. You would pay top dollar for me to send you some brisket burgers? Good to know. Next time I make them, I'll let you know. All right, so these are not as creamy as I was like, but let me taste them. And then I can run them through I'll show you a little trick. If you do get something that's a little lumpier like this. You could run these through a rice mill. That would really help. Actually, these are sweeter than mashed potatoes usually are. Would you like to taste? They taste really good. I think they need a little more salt though. I've made a mess of my mixer. Look at that.
They do taste really good.
Yeah. So.
You know what? I'm not sure. Can I have one more taste?
Can you? Okay, if you have to taste them again. So there's several ways you could run this through a ricer. I do have one of those. They're a little not fun to clean too much. Or you could run them through a tam. And if you don't know what a tam is, let's see if I can even put my hands on mine. Nope. But it looks a little like a cake pan, but it's got a mesh on the bottom of it. You could totally do that too. Cream cheese is a great idea. It makes things a lot creamier, and it'll help with that as well. I think we're just gonna leave these the way they are for now. And do you want to get your fancy thermometer out and check and see where the meat is right now? And I'm going to start with the corn. So you need to tell me, what am I looking at, Mr. Cameraman?
It'll be this one.
This one? So I'm going to teach him something new since I was an RTVF major, which is, right, exactly. You point to the camera that's live. They still do that in the studios. Even though there's a big red light, they'll still point so that you know which camera it's at. Camera 2, camera 3, camera. This is camera 1.
Uno. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Thermometer. You gave me a task to do.
I did. So while he's doing that, the last thing I'm going to cook today, and I'm going to get this out of the way, and put it in the sink because Robbie loves to do dishes, is I'm going to cook the corn. Personally, I love to grill the corn. It helps take care of all of the little corn hair. Is that what you guys were calling it earlier, the corn hair? I'm going to take this off of the cob because this is not the prettiest looking corn that you've ever seen. Right there. The rest of it looks fine, but not that. So we're just going to cook this and then cut it let it cool for just a minute and then cool it down, and then I'll add the other ingredients. And I chose this one that's like a chive and lime butter, chive and lime, because I thought that would go good with the margarita pork. But meanwhile, over here, I'm disappointed that it's lumpy, man. I mean, I'm glad it tastes good.
I don't
It's
think
really
they're,
not that lumpy.
I don't think they're that lumpy.
I get used to
She has very high standards, guys.
I do. Are you checking what is the what is it at?
78 degrees.
We have
So we
a
got 20
while-
minutes on the timer, so.
Yeah, we have a while to go before we hit. I think it's 1:45, but I don't want it to hit
That's what this is
Fine.
saying, 145?
1:45. Yeah, 1:45. So the government suggests that you do 170. I usually do it to 1:45 and then let it sit. And the temperature will rise a little bit while it's sitting. Oh yeah, some water. It's hot in here. Is anybody else having this trouble? My thermostat just keeps going into eco mode, economic mode, and it'll be like, it's 76, and I'm like, I'm freaking home. Do you want to check the thermostat and see what it's at? Because it's hot in here.
Nothing's going.
I know, it's probably because I'm cooking.
Goes back on echo mode.
See? Did you fix it?
I did.
Perfect.
It is already turned back on. It's up to 80.
I
We're
need
almost
to-
there. The pork, not
Oh.
the air temperature.
Yeah. So I don't know what's up with that. Like, is Texas taking over? Is their grid taking over my thermostat?
The Google is just trying to save you money
I
while
haven't-
making you suffer.
Yeah, so Emily, I do have a Nest thermostat. And I do know that they were auto adjusting stuff, but it's not even like it's a super hot day here. It was like 92, which I know if you're in some places of the country, you're like, what? But that's not as hot as it gets
We'll
here.
take that in the
close.
summer.
I'll take 92. ERCOT is trying to ruin my day. You are right, Tricky Mickey. What am I going to do about it? I need to protest or something. People, oh, is it autoing? It autos to 78? That's ridiculous. I like 68. And Robbie always wears a coat inside the house.
You're comfortable, I'm comfortable. It's a simple solution.
I could probably do 70, except I get really hot looking at you wearing a coat. So I have to drop it 2 more degrees because I start sweating.
So my solution is counterproductive.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Good to know.
Make a margarita. That'll fix it. Well, I mean, we've got our mules here. It doesn't
Well-
have tequila in it. It does have
We
vodka.
had them.
Oh, are you done with yours? I guess
Mine might be a little empty.
I guess I've been busy cooking. If you would like to make another one, I have an orange that you can make.
She was holding out on me, Chad.
Because I'm good. There's only one.
I'll make it work.
Okay. And I think the lime juice is still out. And there's your mixing things. And I think the juicer is underneath a bunch of stuff. So I'll get you another one. More dishes to do.
If it needs another drink, it's all good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for my knife back. So, yeah, 92 in the summer is not really all that bad here in Texas. I know there's some people who might disagree with me, but we have really good air conditioning, and poor Kelsey up in Seattle doesn't have good air conditioning. And I remember being in Boston once when they were having a heat wave and it was like 92, 93 degrees there. And it was so hot in all of the restaurants, whereas, yeah, you didn't, Robbie's trying to, the orange juice is going all over the place over here. Yeah, here you carry a sweater around because it's so cold in the stores and stuff. But I love that. I love it. Austin has comfortable sleeping weather. Except you can sleep at 75 degrees. I'm going to tell you what, that thermostat is at 69 with a fan on when we go to bed at night. Really? I guess that's better than the jalapeno juice that went right towards Kelsey's eye the other day.
It's dangerous.
Oh, and here's your measurer, as Kelsey called it.
Measurer.
The measurer. You know what? While I'm waiting for this to,
How much?
I put in 2 ounces per drink.
Okay.
So while we're doing that, we'll just go ahead and
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. And the lime juice?
it doesn't.
Happening?
Yes, yes. So we need the butter. Oh, I need some lime juice and lime peel for this too, and paprika and cayenne. So we're gonna go ahead and make the chive butter for this corn. Well, I'm waiting for the water to boil. Antarctica would be a little too cold, I think, even for me and Stubbs. That's just my guess. Now I put my knife over here. So, we're going to take some chives and get this in this butter. I've had this butter out in Texas, so it's nice and soft. I can't tell if I'm on camera or not, so you guys will just need to let me know if I'm not, because Robbie is busy making a drink. Aren't you? Aren't you, sweetie? So, did you guys tell me what you were doing this weekend? Because if you did, I totally missed it because I got busy doing stuff. I have to actually work on Saturday. And then, we're going to do the stream. We're going to start this stream at 3 o'clock on Sunday. We're going to be doing Chipotle ribs. But we thought we'd start at 3 so that if you have some place to go, I know that we have Robbie's mom is coming over to partake of some ribs, but she has warned us she is not going to be on camera. So Robbie has promised her that. And since he's in charge of the cameras, that's what will happen. No, I was in charge of the cameras. All right, we need some salt in there. I need a little lime juice. I need some lime peel. There's not a whole lot left on here, but we'll zest a little bit into it. And I think this would be good. This butter would also be good on, like, if you were roasting like zucchini on the grill or in the oven. I think that would be really good to do something like this. And then I need some paprika and cayenne pepper. Look, this corn's gonna have cayenne pepper. Are you excited?
I am.
You sound so excited. See, now I know you're excited. Robbie has this bad habit. I go, how does that sound? And he'll be like this. This is his answer. And I don't know if that's good or he's just like, whatever you want. It's fine. or if that's excited, because then later he'll go, I was really excited about that. But what you just did tells me you're excited about it. Because I'm like this. All right, and then I have Hungarian paprika that I'm putting in here. Don't do the smoked paprika. Do a sweet paprika for this. And I'm doing this in here just because we don't have the grill going. But I actually, in the summer, love to grill the corn for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's less cleanup in the kitchen, even though I don't do the dishes. It also just gives you that flavor of the char is really good. And yeah, keeps heat out of the kitchen. So I stick that in there. It's kind of boiling. It'll start boiling in a second. While we finish this butter. Cayenne on corn, of course. I love in the summer when that corn is fresh, even if it is a little deformed. It's so good to put all different kinds of herbs and spices. You can put it in the oven, up in foil. Just don't overcook the corn, otherwise it gets really tough. But we're making a compound butter to put on it. But I'm gonna take it off of the cob to eat it tonight. What temperature is the meat up to?
100.
It's a little slow. I should have.
101.
Oh, I should have made dessert today. Because we're gonna need longer than that 20 minutes. A good thermometer, if you want to learn to cook meat, it's made such a difference on the meat that we're making here. I think Robbie is really happy to have a thermometer that works really well. Yes.
It's made a difference for sure.
And this one's cool because it has two probes, so you can, like, if you've got a piece of meat that's like thick and a piece of meat that's smaller, or you've got them in different places where the heat may be different, you can really keep an eye on both of them. And like I said, we are not cooking pork to the degrees that the government says we should, which is 170. We're doing it to 145. Because well done pork, in my opinion, is not good. It's like having a well done steak. Just like overcooked chicken. Not last night, was it 2-3 nights ago? We did the sumac chicken, or I did the sumac chicken that you ate
2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. I did a whole roasted sumac chicken in the oven. I think you can see pictures of that online.
So juicy. Yes.
I'll look at this because I want all sides of this corn to get cooked. I've learned, my mom was crazy when it came to the doneness of things. Like if something was just, if she perceived something was just a tad overcooked, she went crazy. So my dad was the one who normally manned the grill, and I just remember all of their arguments. She's like, you're gonna overcook it, it's gonna be overcooked, you're gonna overcook it, and he'd be like, chill, I got this. But if she was doing like a pork loin and it got overcooked, it wasn't good news at all. But so I'm a stickler for that stuff. I hate it when stuff gets way overcooked.
So no pressure.
No pressure. Like corn, you can way overcook corn. I used to. Eggs, meat.
I'm pretty good about not overcooking eggs. That helps that I like them runnier.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of let them finish on the plate.
And I've started to cook them more like Jacques Pepin and Julia Childs did it, and they were showing how to scramble eggs and everything to keep the curds like really soft, and Love that. Love it.
And eggs, like a lot of things, are just so much better when they're not overcooked.
When they're not overcooked. I remember, it was probably about 12, 15 years ago, and I went back to basics on cooking eggs because I had been cooking them, and I'm like, I feel like these are overcooked, and so I taught myself again, and I sure as heck was overcooking them. All right, so nobody has plans for the weekend, huh?
July is National Ice Cream Month? What?
Uh-oh, and we didn't make ice cream tonight, and it's the first day of July.
We'll make up for it on Sunday.
So, I've had some ice cream ideas since it's July, since it's National Ice Cream Month. I guess we should be making ice cream for every stream. And let's see, I've had like strawberry and champagne, and some of the basics like cookies and cream and mint chocolate chip, Dr. Pepper ice cream. For some of you new people who haven't given me an idea, what are some ice creams we should make? Because we do like ice cream. I think it's Robbie's top food.
Yeah, it is.
It's your top food.
And for
So-
those that don't know, you have an ice cream maker.
I have an ice cream maker that I got because so many people in the chat were talking about their KitchenAid ice cream maker that I was like, fine, I'll go get one. Yeah,
You couldn't wait to use that.
I think we used it the first day I got it. I think we were like, I hope it freezes in time so we can use it. So what about you guys? What kind of ice cream? I think one of the ones I'm gonna try is a place down the street, and I've said this before in here, has a, jalapeno bacon chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. That's so good. It's salty and spicy and sweet. Do you guys have anything like that that you think would be a good flavor for ice cream?
Strawberry.
We did do strawberry. I don't see that. Is that on your chat?
Fresh strawberry ice cream at the bottom.
I don't have that. Is my chat stopped working? The last thing I have is cayenne on corn.
Oh no, there's 3 things past that.
Why is my
Reloading
chat?
chat.
Okay, how do I do that? All right, let's go back.
So you missed have ice cream for dessert. July's National Ice Cream Month. Fresh strawberry ice cream. OMG. What? That's so many flavors in an ice cream.
It is a lot of flavors, but I have to tell you, it is so good. It's so good.
Bless you, Rocky.
I'm letting this cool down, and then I'm gonna put it in a thing. Oh, I didn't make the salad. Well, I guess we won't be having the salad tonight, but I don't think that breaks your heart, does it? Does that break your heart that we're not doing salad?
Yes. How do you get to the chat?
It does break your heart, so I need to make the salad?
What did I do?
These, by the way, were my mom's dishes from Corningware, buffet servers, and they have really cool tops to them. What are you doing?
Can I see what's going on?
Do I need to log out and log back in? Let me do this. Because otherwise Robbie's going to have to read everything to me. I don't know why it's not... Type something. See if something comes up. I don't have any of those. Nope. You're just going to have to tell me.
Sweet.
All right. Meat is where? Where's the meat?
We're at 1:15 on the meat.
I'm going to take this off of here. I hope you guys are still here.
You're
But I'm
still
going to keep
around.
cooking. I'm going to keep cooking. All right. So what were the flavors that you had coming through? Strawberry. I was thinking of doing like a strawberry one that like somebody had suggested this at some point, like a strawberry champagne one. So taking the strawberries and steeping them in champagne before you puree them. I don't know why I just did this on the cutting board. I can do that right into the bowl. And bonus chives that are still on the cutting board.
Yay.
Yeah, since these aren't the prettiest cobs. I was surprised I didn't have much of a choice yet at the grocery store when it came to corn. Robbie's still trying to figure out my chat over there.
If you can't see the chat, try to swipe away the app and reopen it. Okay.
Alright, so we're going to close my app down and try to reopen it. Next week, hopefully this won't be a problem because on Sunday, we've got a big monitor coming that's going to be in front of me so I don't have to keep looking down. And it'll be attached to what you're doing. And I think you're going to try and set it up so I can see what we're looking at too, right?
Yes.
So I don't have to keep saying, Robbie, is it on me? Robbie, what are they looking at? Robbie, what can they see? And if I don't say it, I'm thinking it in my head.
How do you pull up the apps on an iPad?
You just click on it, swipe until you find it, and then just click on it.
Oops.
All right, now this nice compound butter is going to go on here while it's still hot. And that's a lot. But butter makes everything better. You don't get this body by foregoing the butter. You're gonna like this. He's quiet over there. All right, was there another kind of ice cream that you saw on there other than the strawberry?
I think that was it for now.
That was it? No other flavors of ice cream? Are we the only ice cream people over here? Still waiting. Well, while we're waiting for that to finish cooking, first of all, I'm going to taste this. That and Robbie taste it. Is that good?
I need another bite to be sure.
You need another. I'd say that's a success then. If you needed more. I should clean this up a little bit. I'm kind of a mess. So I want to talk a little bit while we're waiting for the pork on something you can make afterwards.
Rum and raisin.
Rum and raisin. I don't know that I've ever had rum raisin ice cream. Have you? Did you fix it?
How do you close an app? I use Android chat. I'm almost worthless on iPhones and iPads.
Then I will just do this myself.
You're the tech person tonight. Yay!
Yay for me! All right. In chat. You can load the chat in a browser too. Yeah, I could do that. Now it's starting to come through.
So it's fixed?
Yes. It's okay. So, is that it's so good for the rum raisin ice cream? I'll have to try it sometime. Maybe we'll make it. I don't think I have room for this. Too much stuff. Yo, getting underneath me, not a good idea. Chat is fixed. Yay! Hey, good evening, the one JAT chat. And he says hello to the behind the camera guy too.
Hello.
He's also the dog wrangler and the dishwasher,
But not the chat fixer.
but apparently not the chat fixer. You stay away. And here's Rocky, the velociraptor. What do you see? What do you see? You trying to find something to eat?
Oh.
This is
There we go.
Rocky. Don't let him fool you. Don't let him. Do not let this face fool you. He is a velociraptor. He tests the system. He tries to steal things. He chews things. See, he's trying to steal the food right now.
Oh yeah, hide from the camera.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I didn't do nothing.
So something you can do with your pork loin when you don't want to eat just pork loin and you want to do a new meal with it is get yourself some good hoagie rolls or sub rolls or something like that. Cut them in half. Take slices of your pork loin. Then take like pepper jack cheese or some other spicy cheese that melts really well. Get some prosciutto. Prosciutto can get kind of pricey, so you can also just go get some deli ham sliced really thin. That works as well. Get some grainy mustard, some garlic aioli, and then some pickles, and you will have like an amazing sandwich. I know one of Robbie's favorite kind of sandwiches is a Cuban sandwich, and it's a little bit like a Cuban sandwich, and because this has been marinated in lime juice and tequila, and it has like a good lime flavor and garlic and all of that in it, it would be perfect for that kind of a sandwich. Hoagie rolls are the best. Pass on the jalapenos. Oh, barbecue chicken pizza with jalapenos. That is so good. But were we talking about pizza? Did I miss something?
We really need to warn people to bring snacks.
Yes, yes. Oh, you're in the UK. Right. Wow. Welcome. We're all the way in Texas over here, and the sun is still out, and it's still in the 90s. And it's almost in the 90s in the house. Was it like 77, 78?
It was up there.
It was hot.
Certainly was not what you had said.
I'm one of these crazy people that has the Google Home thing. Hey Google, show me the downstairs thermostat.
Got it. 76.
Yeah, 76. That's just too hot for me, especially if you're in the kitchen cooking with all sorts of stuff.
What did you want the pork at?
145.
Okay, that is what you, okay. For
I
130.
don't want it at 170. So
No, no.
anyways, that's one thing that you can do with pork loin. The other thing you can do is, and I think I said this earlier, I wouldn't necessarily do it with this one because it's got more of a citrusy kind of marinade and stuff on it. But when I usually make pork loin with like rosemary and thyme and just those kind of more savory spices, I like to make a chop suey. So it's not maybe an authentic chop suey, but it's one I grew up with. So it's got brown sauce and the pork chopped up in cubes, and it's got onion, and then you can just put the kinds of spices you like in it, put it over rice, and then go get those little crispy noodles and put those on the top, and it's a really nice hearty meal. And I had one child who loved it and one child who said no. Not eating the chop suey. I did not have a choice growing up. I like it. It's especially good in the winter. So that's always good too. Once you have the prosciutto, you justify the price. I know. I went actually to the deli and had them slice the prosciutto, and I was surprised because, usually I'm looking at like here's a smoked prosciutto and here's a regular prosciutto, and there were like 15 kinds of prosciutto that ranged from $12 to $40 a pound. And I was like,
Holy cow.
I'm like, I don't know enough about all the differences.
That's expensive.
Well, I was only buying a quarter of a pound, so it wasn't that bad.
Wait, you don't have to get a whole pound when you order stuff?
You do not need to always order a full pound. Robbie's referring to the time he went to a barbecue place and he thought he had to order a pound of everything because it was by the pound, and so got 3 pounds of meat?
Something like that.
Was it more than that?
No, it definitely wasn't more. It was either 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
And
Somebody else was paying for it.
I didn't know that at the time, but I felt really bad. And I ate most of it. I took home very little.
And you know what's amazing about that? I might get that if you didn't grow up in Texas, because that's maybe not common outside of Texas. At least it wasn't common in Missouri. But in Texas, even gas stations serve meat by the pound that's good. And
I was raised on Texas.
And he was raised in Texas. Born and raised in Texas. As a matter of fact, he's only lived someplace else for 7 months out of his life. When he was in middle school. He should know better.
I do now.
You do.
That's a lesson you learn real quick.
So, Hawaiian rolls are awesome. Good to know. Aldi has prosciutto. I love prosciutto on pizza. You know, it's real. I love prosciutto with some figs and some goat cheese. If you hear that, they're fighting over a bone, even though they each have one. But they're going to fight over one of them. Dogs. Lovely. But yeah, I like it. And then maybe a little arugula on it is really good on that. So, ha ha ha. Oh no, you don't like figs and goat cheese with your prosciutto on your pizza? What do you put with your prosciutto on your pizza? I'm interested in that. That's just one of the things I like. It's also good on if you're making bruschetta. I love bruschetta. Bruschetta's so easy, and it's I mean, like, you can have super simple flavors. I'm waiting. What do you like on your pizza other than the prosciutto?
I like cheese.
I know you like cheese and
Sauce, pepperoni, almost any type of meat. I'll have the occasional healthier Margarita pizza.
You get that more than occasionally. I would say half the time you get a Margarita pizza. But they're not like the Margarita pizzas you get in Italy. They're just not.
We will just have to go to Italy. We'll do a stream.
Can somebody clip that?
We'll make it a thing.
Clip that. Robbie said we'll just have to go to Italy and see. That would be awesome. Fresh mozzarella, tomatoes, Kalamata olives, those are good, yeah. Oh, you were talking about the pound store, okay. You're boring. Olives, pepperoni, prosciutto, spicy Italian. Oh man, I love spicy Italian sausage on a pizza. I love, in St. Louis, I love the cracker crust from Emo's, like the St. Louis style pizza, and you get some pepperoni or some spicy Italian sausage with some onions. I like that. I have so many favorites. It's really hard. I like pizza. My arthritis doesn't like pizza, but I still eat it sometimes anyway. I just pay for it the next day. I haven't swollen fingers and joints that ache a little bit. But I'm not going the rest of my life without pizza.
It's too good.
It's not, or pasta or bread or whatever.
Ice cream. Like
I will make one of these sandwiches tomorrow with the pork that's left over.
Minced garlic on pizza.
Ooh, yeah, that would be good.
I need to try that. I don't think I've had that before.
Probably not. I would even think if you put the garlic in the pan, and you could even and caramelize it a little bit, and then put it on the pizza. Anything caramelized, caramelize those vegetables.
Probably tastes good.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys watch Worst Cooks? Because we think it's hilarious. We love it. Even though sometimes I'm like, I might do that. But people are like using the scissors to like cut steaks because that's easier for them than the knives. Or some of the ingredients they put together. It's like, oh, no.
Just add ketchup on everything. It'll make it better.
No. What about the person who said sprinkles on everything makes it better?
That was worse than ketchup.
Yeah, that was bad. Really bad. Not good at all. Ooh, 141, we're getting there. Thank you guys for hanging in while we're waiting for the meat. I probably should have started with that, but I didn't think it would take this long to cook because usually it cooks pretty fast in there. Garlic, butter, oil down first before the sauce. You know, and here's the thing, and a pasta placer is good. One of the things, this is a good thing to do, I make some of my own oils. Like this is a garlic jalapeno oil, and I know you don't like jalapeno because you said, ew, leave the jalapenos off, right? But you can make your own garlic oil, and then you could just put that, even drizzle that on your pizza and everything. And if you've never made your own infused oils and you watch like chefs like on Iron Chef or in competitions, a lot of times they bring the oils with the herbs and the spices already infused in them because it saves them a lot of time in the cooking process. And it's really pretty easy to do. Take a small saucepan, put about a cup of olive oil or whatever oil you want in there, and then you take your herbs and your spices, use fresh ones if you can, and you bring it to a boil. You'll hear popping in the garlic and in the herbs and stuff as it's the moisture from them evaporates out of the oil, because that's what happens when it spatters. It's usually related to water evaporating or the water content of things, and then you just let it sit for like an hour and cool down and steep, and then you've just got this oil, and you didn't go to the grocery store and spend $15 on a little bottle like this of their infused oil. It's a lot cheaper. So it's a great way.
Good tip.
So, yeah. Try it and let me know how that goes, making your own oils. I do it all the time. One of the recipes I think I'm going to make in July is a favorite of mine that I use. It's a garlic herb oil, and it came out of an Alton Brown cookbook, and it is Parmesan chicken meatballs, and it's so good. You can eat it as a meal over pasta, or you can have it as an appetizer. And every time I've served it as an appetizer, it's been pretty decimated. Like, gone. It's so good. Don't you like that?
Mm-hmm.
I have to always ask him, because he's over here now, looking at his
We're at 145.
temperature. 145. Then pull that baby out, and we'll let it rest for a minute, and then we'll chop it up. Well, not chop it. We'll slice it. It'll be nice.
Are we gonna go grab it?
Huh? I would like, yeah. Did you grab it?
Oh, I'll grab it.
Because I'm doing your job over here.
Cool.
Only barely. I'm only barely doing your job. Robbie likes to yell at me because I try to put all the dishes over here, and he's like, stop. No more dishes. And sometimes I listen. I'm not a very good listener. I'm going to turn this over so we have it brown on the sides.
Done with the oven?
Yes. There, that side looks better. So, yeah, so Cutthroat Kitchen was fun. That was really fun. And some of those things, if you've never watched Cutthroat Kitchen, it's hilarious because people might need to be making, I don't know, a grilled cheese sandwich, but they're not allowed to use cheese. They're given things like Cheetos and maybe something else that happens to have cheese in it. It's fun. And he said, when he was asked about it, he said there are times, there were certain sabotages that didn't make it because they were so ridiculous. And when you watch it, you'll be like, there were things more ridiculous than this. But
That's kind of scary.
it is scary. People are evil. People are evil. All right, I want this to rest for just a couple more minutes. I forgot to turn this in the oven. Normally I would, oh, Robbie's like, I just got that camera down there. What are you doing here?
No.
You leave it here? Okay. I would have turned it upside down the other way. But this works because the fat side was up, so it kind of went into the pan. That's pretty good. So, oh, brisket and gravy and not biscuit and gravy. Aw, poor guy. Surprising the brisket was even in the pantry. But you see people missing, forgetting like eggs and going, well, I guess I'll take that egg substitute up there because I don't have eggs. Or I'm supposed to be making pasta and I forgot like pasta. So it's a worthwhile show to watch, but I don't think he'll do it again.
No, because what he said, it wasn't really about the food anymore.
Yeah. He really is about the food, and so when things stop being about the food. But I'll tell you what's very interesting is, if you haven't watched it, is Feasting on Asphalt, where he's on a motorcycle with a bunch of other people, and they only go to roadside stands, which gave Robbie and I the idea of, as we now are taking road trips, is that we don't eat at chain restaurants. We try to eat at local restaurants, and Robbie does a lot of research. This is something else he's really been awesome at, is doing research and finding places that have good ratings or that people have talked about or there have been articles about. And so we've had some mediocre food, but we've also had some really amazing food by doing it that way. Was there, what?
I just thought it was funny about the brisket and gravy.
Oh, yeah. I mentioned that already. I mentioned it. Were you not
my
listening?
mistake. I was working on camera stuff.
So there's that. And I think we're talking about putting together a 2-week road trip in the fall and calling it Unchained and streaming it. But that's a whole nother level of trying to get technology that works so that we can
Just
be
tell
on
Cody
with
to
you.
go on vacation. We'll borrow the
And
backpack.
we'll borrow his backpack. See, I think he uses that on a regular basis because he's in the car, like.
Well, no, he needs a true vacation. Or we'll just have to get our own.
Cody's not going to go on a true vacation. Do you guys know Cody? Are some of you watch Cody's thing? I think he's really amazing. But he uses that pack because he leaves the store and he drives home and makes a steak. So if he's in the car, he's got to have the pack going.
He's not allowed to use science.
But he can't use science. Yeah. So this is a little more done than I usually like. Maybe in the center it won't be. No, I guess in the center it's good. It's nice and juicy. Can you see that? See how nice and juicy that is? And it's okay if I have a little bit of pink. I like a little bit of pink in there. I know not everybody appreciates that in pork.
And if you don't like that, that's when you go to the 160.
Yeah, go up. 170 is what they say, but man, you just cook the heck out of it.
It would not be as juicy, that's for sure.
No, it would not. So I'm gonna make a plate here for us. Cody is cool. Cody is cool. That is true. Do you want to get a couple of forks for us? Because I can't take a picture of this because you're using my phone, which happens to also be my camera. Yeah, hang on. I'm going to do something to these by using another dish to make them a little creamier.
Wait, the juice just went everywhere.
Oh, did it? Uh-oh. It's really juicy. I should have used the actual meat cutting board. So if things are a little lumpy, you can always push them through a little strainer like this, and then you'll get the creaminess on the outside from it. It's similar to a tam. A tam is a little bit easier because it's flat, but you could do it this way if you're like, oh, these turned out lumpy and they taste good, but my family's gonna laugh at me, but I'm not gonna do it because it's just taking too long, and I'm hungry. And I'm trying to wrangle a dog over here while I'm at it. Okay. Now that I've made a complete and utter mess, oh, you have the forks. See, oh, dude. All right, so here goes the pork that's from my mom's recipe file that Robbie's gonna try over there. That Kelsey was served from my mom on her 13th birthday. Rocky does strike again. What do you think?
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and juicy.
It has a nice citrusy, but not an overpowering citrusy flavor to it.
Rocky didn't get it, which is always a plus.
That's always a plus. And always a gigantic amount of potatoes. Please. Did you just take a whole piece of meat?
I did.
So the parsnips add kind of a little bit of a brighter, I don't know, earthiness? What would you say? Think of it this way, you know, like a carrot has kind of still an earthiness but a little sweetness to it. I would say that's what the parsnip kind of adds to the potatoes, is something along that line. If you're wondering how a parsnip affects the potatoes, but it is lumpy.
Not really.
I just had.
Oh. Well, I think they're amazing. They certainly taste really good.
It's really good. So I need good thick gravy. You know what? I actually am not a big.
You don't make a whole lot of gravy normally.
I don't make them. I do like for prime rib. He just moved behind the camera, so I'm not talking to him, so I'm talking to you. I make like more au jus, pan sauces. That's what I make more of. And I'll do gravy for like turkey or prime ribs and things like that. But you're right, I don't make a whole lot. Like I don't do biscuits and gravy for breakfast. Or for mashed potatoes, although if you're here on the holidays, there'll be some sort of gravy for the potatoes, because I know a lot of people like it, even if it's not my thing, it may be yours. So, all right, and just remember, you got extra of this because this was a very small pork loin roast. Not tenderloin, don't get those confused. Tenderloins are very small, they're usually only about a pound and they're very thin. But if you have an extra pork loin like this, and it's usually going to come in a 3 to 4 pound roast, slice it up and get some spicy cheese on the top of it and put that in the oven and let that cheese melt, and then add some prosciutto and some mustard, some garlic aioli, and don't forget the pickles, because that is really good on that kind of a sandwich if you like pickles. Yeah, that's lamb. So I think we're done here, because I didn't do dessert tonight because Robbie and I have eaten way too much dessert in the last
I mean,
week.
it's just Kelsey's birthday, but you know, whatever.
Kelsey can have the dessert.
That's true.
She's
it would
not
just
here.
torture her. We're doing her a service.
Yes.
That's
Kelsey,
how we'll reframe
it is
that.
Kelsey's birthday, so if you know her, hit her Twitter and go, hey, happy birthday to you, because she's amazing. But we already had her birthday meal. We did it on Sunday with the brisket burgers. Again, the recipes for all of this are going to be on the interweb page, which you can find on also on the Twitch page, on Instagram, and on Facebook. It's Dishes with Dana. On Twitter, it's Dana's Kitchen. Dana's Kitchen on the other two are a restaurant that I believe has actually been on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, but I'm not positive on that. And but that's where you can find the recipes. Will be on the Dana's Kitchen on Facebook, but you can link to it from the other spot. So feel free to follow that, like it, and then when those recipes go up, you'll be the first to know. And if I forget something, let me know, because I know I mess up stuff, but I do that so you don't have to. Because, you know, I like you guys, and I don't mind messing up, because food doesn't have to be perfect. It's meant to just bring us together and nourish our bodies and all of that good stuff. All that good stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Are we going to go somewhere?
Ready to raid?
We're going to go raid somebody. Who are we raiding today?
Kitchen Confidence.
Kitchen Confidence. We're going to go. Hang in there for a few minutes, and let's say hi to the people over at Kitchen Confidence. Thank you guys so much. And 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Thanks for the follow, Keen Kitchen.
All right. Hopefully I'll see you on Sunday, 3 o'clock for Chipotle ribs and strawberry rhubarb pie.
All right,
Here we go.
Here we go. There we go.
Assume that it's easy enough to review the stream in question.